Hey y'all, what's going on? It's your girl MizzTink. That's MIZZ, not MISS. And we're back at it again with Empire Season 2, Episode 2. We're going to get through this fast because next is my Step It Up video, okay? Alright. Now, as you know, where we left off at is with, Jamal basically telling Cookie to leave. And I'm with some of the other YouTubers. It is two. Y'all excuse me for a second. Hold on. Alright, so I'm back. Again, like I said, I'm with other YouTubers, man. It's just too many cameo appearances. It's so much to keep up with. That's why I'm late. But hey, don't judge me, y'all. And I'm going to have to fix my shirt because my shirt's coming out. So I have another undershirt underneath here, so don't think I'm scratching because I'm not. But anyways, let's get started with episode 2. Episode 2 basically opens up with Cookie, Hakeem, and Andre. They all three of them got fired. Both handed their pink slips and they walking off with their boxes or whatever. And Cookie basically saying, forget Empire, we'll start our own company, okay? And all of a sudden, basically the main focus, what they're worried about now is Hakeem releasing his music because he has the newest music. And she also doesn't want anything to do with Boo Boo Kitty, even though Andre and Hakeem feel that Boo Boo Kitty should be a part of it. And I think so too, because I think she knows a thing or two. You might not like her, but you might need her in a business aspect. I don't know, I just get that vibe from her. Anyways, Hakeem wants to start his own girl group from what he tells his mom or whatever, and his mom basically agreeing with him, whatever he says, whatever. But she's basically worried about finding a new studio, and she's hoping that Andre can cut them a deal as far as finding a new studio space because they found him a new studios. And basically she tells them to meet her at Ghetto Ass Studios. Anyways, when they get there, whatever, Andre looking like, what the hell is this? And that's when Cookie basically explains to him, look, we started Empire from the ground up, from being in Carol's living room to at somebody's garage that was worse than Ghetto Ass Studios, and all of a sudden Empire basically grew. So basically saying you got to start somewhere. You can't just have stuff handed to you. You got to start somewhere, and that's with any art, any type of business talent, anything you want to do. You have to start from the bottom and work your way up. So anyways, Anika, once Cookie arrives to Ghetto Ass Studio, Anika is already there and she's recording with V. And V, I like the song, I like the ending, but V, you kind of a little bit too up there with your attitude. Just talk like don't want to hear shit anybody else has to say. Granted, yeah, you wrote the song, but come on, any type of criticism is better than no criticism at all because you're not going to be perfect at everything. Somebody always going to have something to say, and it's always good to listen because you just never know. But she's stuck in her own way. She on ego, whatever. Anyways, so as V walks out on Anika, whatever, because she's pissed because Anika's just asking her some little corrections, some little tweaks. Boo Boo Kitty comes in. Not Boo Boo Kitty, excuse me. My girl Cookie comes in and basically takes over and tells Boo Boo Kitty, bitch, you're basically dismissed, boom, bow, bye, V, let's get it on and popping. Okay? Okay. I was like, all right. Okay. Next we see Lucius at the infirmary trying to get his meds or whatever, but they're having a problem with the authorization, and he starts tripping and going off on the guy, and the guy was like, look, like, come on now. And Lucius basically remembers, yeah, it's not your fault. And basically the guy tells him he needs to just get it fixed and he can get his meds. Then we see Jamal singing, and I feel like, again, the singing is just doing too much. Then Sharon from Spilling the Tea does an interview with him or whatever, asks him about his love life and Jamal's music, then asks him about Lucius and the case. And Jamal confesses about being busy and not being able to work on a lot of music like he wants to, but doesn't want to discuss Lucius' business, which I understand about the trial. Cookie then comes in and interrupts the interview and breaks it up, and then she wants to go talk to Jamal, basically talk to Jamal about Hakeem, and Hakeem calls him the baby trader. I was like, Lord Jesus, and asks him to give Hakeem his, basically forgive him, let him come back, because all he knows is his music and everything. And then Jamal looked like he ain't trying to hear it. So as Cookie's getting ready to leave and, leave the interview, basically tells Jamal, before you hear from anybody else, we're starting our own company, and close the elevator. I was like, oh, okay. Tell it, Cookie. All right, next scene, we see Lucius in jail talking to his inmates, chilling with the inmates, rapping and all, and then we see Ludacris as the correctional officer. I'm like, here we go, another cameo appearance. I'm telling you, roles reversed. This is like Hustle and Flow 2015. I done heard other YouTubers saying it, and I actually believe it now, watching and really paying attention and taking my notes. Yes, it is like Hustle and Flow 2015. The roles done reversed. Skinny Black, aka Ludacris, is now at the bottom, and Lucius, even though he's in jail, is at the top, and Skinny Black is mad. Come on, Skinny Black. Anyways, so Lucius and them start rapping. All of a sudden, Lucius start coughing, and here comes Skinny Black coming over here trying to, press, not boss, but show off his authority or whatever, calling them boys. And I love how the inmate checked and talking about, no, we're men. And here go Ludacris basically showing off his authority, his badge, hiding behind a badge like they say, and trying to basically throw his weight around. Lord, Ludacris, Skinny Black, I'm gonna need you to stop. Thank you. This is not Hustle and Flow no more. Anyways, basically Ludacris is on a big power trip. And then after that, Hakeem just basically is having auditions for this girl group or whatever, and then we see Valentina, this this Latina chick. She's cute. I just didn't like the outfit, and but she's cute. Body was looking nice from behind, okay. And she does her thing or whatever, and then basically that's when Hakeem tells her, this is, thank you, we have 2 other girls. She's like, what? I thought this was a solo audition. Oh boy was like, no, it was on Instagram. It was a group audition. And she basically goes off and basically tells Hakeem off in Spanish, and Hakeem is turned on, so you already know what that means. He finna get it in, but whatever. And then all of a sudden, Andre basically comes in and tries to check Hakeem about doing business or whatever, and then talks to Cookie about how Hakeem does his business and being in the studio when he needs, basically saying Hakeem needs to be rapping instead of doing this. Andre is the business side of everything, you know what I'm saying, in which I agree with him on that. I really do. Anyways, Ludacris and Lucius exchange words and back and forth, and then that's when Ludacris basically tells about the prosecutor Roxanne, Jesse from Poetic Justice, and then about his whereabouts, about his medicine, he couldn't get his medicine or whatever, and then basically that's when Lucius looks at him and he gets up and he walks off. All right. Then let's go and press play to the next scene. Okay, after that, Cookie, Andre, and Hakeem are talking about business and Tiana, because you remember Tiana from season 1. Hakeem and her used to date, and now they're not together. Hakeem is fucking Boo Boo Kitty now, and Tiana was just left by the wayside, but she's still Team Cookie all day, every day. Boo Boo Kitty basically walks in or whatever, and that's when Cookie just basically starts going off talking about why is she here and all of that stuff, and that's when Hakeem gives up the name of his group called Rainbow Connection. Rainbow Connection? I agree with Cookie. That is the dumbest name I ever heard. And baby, did your daddy drop you on your head when you was a baby? Yes, I quoted them lines from Cookie because I was just thinking the same thing. That's when Jamal basically, not Jamal, but Hakeem basically says, Cookie, Anika likes it. And Cookie proceeds to read Anika talk about Anika marking herself by selling her ass. Oh, but Boo Boo Kitty got her back when one good talk about, like your career in pharmaceuticals. I said, ooh. But Cookie got her back again and said, if it wasn't for me, bitches like you would still be on their knees. Ooh. Or under my 20-year-old son. I said, get her with the truth. Because yes, Anika, you are sleeping with Hakeem, little young teeny bopper ass. That's just nasty. But hey, if you like what you like, at least he's of age. But ew. That's your ex-fiance son, girl. Or whatever. I'm not even going to go there. Jamal meets with Lucius and tells him all about getting Hakeem back on getting Hakeem back on the record label, and Cookie starting a new company. Lucius ain't really even phased about it. Then we see a man in a purple suit, thirsty, basically eavesdropping on the conversation. Then all of a sudden he introducing himself to Lucius or whatever, talk about he went to the University of Guam. I didn't believe that, not even Jamal believed that. But he mentions the prosecutor Roxanne, and he mentions how Lucius can get his meds. So light bulb. Lucius like, oh, I gotta check him out or whatever. Then that's when the guard basically escorts him out because he wasn't supposed to be talking to him in the first place. Next we see Tiana doing her thing, and I didn't know what she had on. Was that like a sheer bodysuit with the black? Okay, nude thing, is that in? All right, your body still look great, but I didn't understand. I love your hair too, by the way, too. Anyways, natural, baby, love it. puff. Anyways, we see her doing her thing, and them girls in the back was dancing. I liked the little song too. They was getting it though with the dance or whatever. Hakeem comes in and checks out her rehearsal or whatever, and then after her rehearsal, that's when he asked Tiana about joining a girl group. Tiana was like, no, why would I join a girl group when I'm by myself? You know what I'm saying? When I'm by myself and I'm doing my thing, which I understand or whatever. And that's when Cookie basically walks in and basically takes Tiana into the room and gives Hakeem a look at death like, nigga, I got this. Like, shut the fuck up. I got this. Same look my mama give me, like, shut the fuck up. Shut up. Just give it eyes. You know what I'm saying? Because, Tiana's a solo artist. And, of course, she's down with Empire. Or should I say not down with Empire, but down with Team Cookie all day, every day, as long as the deal sounds right. But you know how that goes. After that, we see Jamal roll up on ghetto-ass studios and picks up Hakeem and tries to basically talk Hakeem into coming back to Empire. Cookie walks out there and sees it and is like, the fuck? And Jamal basically rolls up the window and proceeds to drive on. I was like, oh. Okay, Boo Kitty. I mean, not Boo Kitty. I was like, okay, Miss Cookie. Okay. You better handle it. Anyways. Oh my God. After that or whatever, we see Hakeem in the hot tub doing what he do best, digging down on females. Just like I told you, he got with that girl Valentina or whatever. He knocked her down in the hot tub or whatever. And I'm like, why am I not surprised? Next, we see Andre's wife meets up with Jamal and basically tries to beg Jamal to let Andre come back to Empire because Empire is where he needs to be, not with Cookie or whatever. Basically, she begging, I don't really trust that girl. And Jamal is just like, it hurt me too to see him leave. And that's when she proceeds to tell him, oh, I'm pregnant. And Jamal just gets all happy, just all extra flamboyant, extra gay. I'm being Uncle Jamal. I'm like, yeah, you gonna be an uncle, baby. But all right, that's all it takes. Okay, Jamal. Just like I said, you just putting up a big funk for your daddy. But anyways, you letting your daddy run you. But anyways, off that or whatever. And that's when Andre's wife, I'm gonna get her name, but that's when Andre's wife basically, excuse me, y'all, asked Jamal not to tell Andre that she came and talked to him or whatever. Girl is sneaky. Next, we see Thirsty basically coming through for Lucius, got him his medicine back, and then also got him time in the record. Well, no, I don't know if it was time that he got in a recording studio or whatnot, but I think it was him. But they was recording a song called Snitch Bitches. I liked the beat. The beat was throwed. I liked it, because Lucius was talking about in the beginning recording a song and talking in the beginning to Jamal, talking about recording a song in the jail cell and dropping a mixtape because of what happened with Cookie and how they were trying to take over. So he's gonna show him that, baby, Empire still got this. Well, Lucius still got this or whatever. So all that goes down or whatever. And while they're recording, or should I say after they're recording, Ludacris barges in like always. Skinny Black barges in and throwing his power around, throwing his authority, throwing everybody into the hole. I'm like, Ludacris, Skinny Black, it's over with. He whooped your ass and Hustle and Flow. Let it go, Skinny Black. Let it go. But anyways, like I said, Ludacris was throwing his power around, talking shit or whatever, and telling Lucius that he would kill him and he'd just be nothing but a dead rapper. I'm like, oh Lord, here we go. You don't know you messing with Ludacris. And that's when Lucius basically said, no, people like you always makes mistakes. Ooh. And then basically they show Ludacris walking to his car, and then he gets jumped. He was whooping his ass at first. I'm like, I'm thirsty. I'm going to need you to get some better henchmen to fight, or whatever. Ultimately, he winds up losing the fight against the two guys, and they end up taking the computer and then giving it back to Thirsty. One guy said he cracked Ludacris' ribs, and I'm like, oh, okay, if you say so. Look like he got in your ass first, but whatever. And gives the laptop back to Thirsty. Thirsty, of course, gets it back to Ludacris or whatever, and then after that we see Lucius, okay. After that we see Hakeem link his album. Do you hear me? He leaked his album, and basically says that he's staying with Cookie, he's not joining the Empire. Andre and Cookie are both worried about him getting sued, and that basically reached Andre's breaking point to where he couldn't do this no more. He just couldn't do it no more. So he basically quit Cookie and said, Mama, just let me go. Just let me go, Mama. Please, just let me go. Like, he's not happy with Cookie. All he knows is Empire. He's happy with Empire. He's worked so hard, he wants to go back to Empire. And Cookie just, as a mama, she had to let him go. She had to let him go. So, anyways, after that, the episode basically opens up with Cookie finds her spot or whatever, and she sees the vision and what she's gonna make. And old dude that sold it to her was like, "No, you're gonna be cleaning it up, not me." And Cookie was like, "I don't care." She sees a spot, and then Andre goes and sees Lucius and begs basically for forgiveness, and you know what I'm saying, and he tells Lucius that he wants to go back to Empire. Lucius basically says, "Do you pray to God?" "Yes." "Okay, well, you might want to pray for God to forgive you because I don't." He might not have said it like that, but he basically said something like that. I was like, "Ooh, damn, Lucius, that's hard." And after that, Andre basically calls out everything that's happened, from Jamal being gay and how he felt about her. No shade, please, no shade intended. Basically, Jamal being gay, how he felt about that. How Hakeem actually slept with Anika, his ex-wife, and he forgave him. And Andre, who's been the loyalest one out of all of them, he can't forgive him. I agree with what Andre was saying. Like, why do you hate me? Or why you can't forgive him, though? Then all of a sudden, the big mystery we see, my favorite Destiny's Child of them all, Kelly Rowland, basically singing. I think it was either younger Lucius or younger Andre, basically the Itsy Bitsy Spider. And in the middle of her singing the Itsy Bitsy Spider, she just stops and she looks. That was part of Lucius' flashback. And all of a sudden, Lucius was just like, I don't hate you. And just walks off. I think he probably sees his mom in Andre, or either Kelly Rowland is probably Andre's real mom. I don't know, but it was kind of confusing, but I can't wait to see what happens or whatever. Even though they have a lot of cameos, I still can't wait to see what happens. Even though it's a lot, I still can't wait to see. Next we see Hakeem and Jamal basically chilling or whatever. Because, after Lucius said that, he left Andre looking like, what the fuck? So the next scene, basically, Hakeem and Jamal. You see Jamal basically telling Hakeem that he wrote this for him or whatever. And Hakeem was like, oh, okay. Basically, Jamal wants Hakeem to come back to Empire. And Hakeem's like, I'm not coming back to Empire. I'm not coming back. And he was like, well, what about your album? And he was like, oh, I leaked my album already. And that's when Jamal was like saying, I would sue the pants off your black ass. And he don't care. He didn't even care when he leaked it the first time. He told Cookie and Andre, I don't care. He ain't going to do it. He don't care. You know what I'm saying? He don't care. After that, Hakeem basically tells Jamal that, hey, we're starting our own company called Lion Dynasty. Yeah, they're starting their own company, Lion Dynasty. And Jamal basically saying, oh, that ain't shit. That ain't nothing. And that sounds whack or whatever. And that's when Hakeem was like, no, nigga, you whack. Basically saying when he sell out at Madison Square Garden, he'll get them tickets and stuff like that. And I was like, all right. Then all of a sudden, Hakeem goes back to Cookie, and they start sweeping and cleaning up. And that's when the radio drops Lucius' song that he made from out of jail. And Hakeem was like, how did he make this out of jail? Like, how? And that's when Cookie basically put out there, baby, that's your father. Lucius can find a way to do it, baby. Yes, he can. I was like, oh, okay, tell her what it is. Tell her what it is, girl. Then the basically ends with Lucius being in court or whatever, and that's when we see Thirsty basically showing up late, and the prosecutor's basically she's trying anyway to get at Lucius or whatever. She's basically trying to stick it to him by any way possible. She's trying to stick it to him or whatever. All of a sudden, Thirsty comes in with these pictures and gives the judge the file. And lo and behold, what's in there? Yeah, it starts off with a normal sheet of paper. Then next we see the judge that got a ball gag in his mouth. Apparently the judge is a ball gagger. All right. So, the judge, he's embarrassed. He can't afford any of this coming out, messing up his credibility, maybe his marriage, his kids, you name it, basically messing up his life. So what does he do? He lets Lucius go on a $1 million bail, and the prosecutor is pissed. I must have died. I said, Lucius, you did it again. You did it again. 2 thumbs way up for you, baby. But, pretty much that's how the episode pretty much ends. And, Lucius' bail was set at $1 million, like he can't pay that. And the prosecutor is pissed. Jesse is going to be okay. Jesse is going to be okay, girl. You'll get him next time, girl, if there is. And that's basically what happened. And then we'll see episode 3. It's going to be off the chain. I'm looking forward to it. I promise you, there'll be no more late videos. None. But anywho, like, comment, subscribe, and share. This is MizzTink. That's MIZZ, not MISS. And the channel name is Natural Pole Sisters TV. All right, you guys. You stay blessed. I got one more video coming up, and then we're done. All right, you guys. Bye.